I just started to do a video about yesterday being the most mystical day of my life, and the man who may be responsible for making it one of the most mystical days that ever existed called me on the phone, and I don't know how it got through. And stopped the video. Anyway, everything yesterday was a synchronistic concurrence, coincidence. But the key is that I was aware of it from the outside shell. And always remember that there are two levels in the outside shell. There's there's three levels in the body, and then there's a level of the reaching of the body, that's the fourth amos. But that outside shell, that's the higher. His name is Chaim. I was in the higher level. And then, well, I'm so wandering. I just did some beautiful music. I have awareness of what was going on and transpiring yesterday. And that was the difference. I was in the level of da'as, of awareness. This level of da'as, awareness, is what made it different than not. These coincidences could have happened, which I can enumerate forever, but I was aware of the coincidences happening. And so today I wasn't going to do a video, and then I talked about squaring the circle. And what's squaring the circle? Because you can't square a circle, right? But yes, you can. Because squaring the circle is the square. The thing that's squaring the circle is a square. So you're not supposed to square the circle, so to speak. You're supposed to recognize that there's a fifth level, a fifth dimensional level. That's a square. It's actually a final mem that's above this fourth level. And in a very strange sense, this fifth level doesn't come to you from outside. This has to come to you from inside. You have to add the fifth level. This is what's miraculous. When it says that you're a partner with God, you're a partner with God because you have to square the circle. You have to put the mem, the final mem, on top of the circle of the samak inside. And when you do that, that actually is the marriage ring. The marriage ring has the square on the outside, the Arizal's marriage ring. Has a square on the outside, and then it's a circle inside. Squaring the circle is when you physically bring things down into this world. When you bring the spiritual reality of the circle down into the physical world and recognize it as awareness, then you're bringing spirituality into the flesh, into the physical, into the material. And this is what happened to me 30 years ago or whatever. I got my symbol of the samak with a hole in it and the aleph. And then a few years after that, I added the final mem. I added the final mem, and it's not till this right now, in the process of doing this video, that I recognize that final mem is added by me. Me, that's my contribution. My contribution is the final mem. So the spiritual godliness, it's wonderful. But my contribution is whatever that final mem is. It squares the circle. You see? And that completes it. So when they say squaring the circle, how to bring the circle into the square, that's the second level. And actually, that's the second level of the external world, and that's actually the fifth level. Because the fourth level is the circle, that's the higher level. And then the fifth level is the square, which is the Yehida level. That's the level of touch. That's the level of physicality. Okay? So all 600s, 40s, even the concept of 40 minus 1, you know? And that extra 1, that's love, that's the physical level. It's up to you to square the circle, to bring the physical into the spiritual. Everybody knows the spiritual, you know, and it's the spirituals, it's the circle. But the square is the physical, and that's the way rooms are. Rooms are square. You know, perpendicular. You very seldom see circular rooms. The physical universe is square. It's up to you. That's your contribution. Hashem is in you to square the circle. How are you going to do that? How are you going to bring that into physical reality? And that's the real secret. And that space of Yehida level is, of course, very far removed. And it doesn't touch. It doesn't touch the circle. It squares the circle. And it's in the language, in the process of squaring the circle, in the common parlance. And this is what completes my symbol. And bringing down into the physical world these levels that only the human being is a partner with Hashem. You're down here to complete the work, to do the physical work. If you can't do it, and you know, I was, again, here, synchronicity. I was walking down the street where I live, where there's a bunch of sisters of mercy. And I saw them loading cars and taking things out and doing all like physical work, like workers and maids. And I said, wow, you know, these are spiritual people doing physical work. And now 2 hours later, I'm doing this video. You see? So if you can't complete the process, then you're not really, you know? That's why the word Mashiach starts with a mem, which comes in, because somebody's asked me about the number 318, and 318 is the din of Mashiach. And I said, oh, well, the Kedusha is the mem. Interesting enough, that mem can also be a final mem, and the word Mashiach can actually be spelled final mem shin yud hey, which would make it 918, which could be 918 Mashiach plus 1 would be 919, and that would be Bereshis as 913 plus its 6 letters. Because above everything else there's a sixth level. There's a 6th level of Atzmutz level, which is above the 5th level. But for the time being, let's focus for a while in this 5th dimensional space, in this 5th level of things and encouragement. The final mem that I've added to my symbol years ago, but it came to me. And it's taken 30 years to, recognize what this actually is. So the highest level, which again I spoke about the other day, is a Aleph, a Samak, encased in a final mem. And that final mem is the 5th level of the soul, but the total gematria is 661, which is Shoshana, which I spoke about yesterday in the opening, the prologue to the Zohar, as a Shoshana among thorns, and that's the real secret. It may even be that the 6th level are the thorns, are the problems, so to speak. The 6th level is the Atzmutz level. And what is that? That's the tree of death. Atzmutz is the tree of death, you see. And so, what do we have in this tree of death, in this Atzmutz level? But the surrounding thorns, the surrounding things to the Shoshana, to the flower. And these surrounding things actually come from a higher world. Not the higher world, but a higher, Higher, world that protects this Shoshana. Because only the special can find the Shoshana. Only the special find it, which is Esther. Same gematria of 661. So, Esther is the Shoshana. And the whole secret is Purim. And it's expressed as the Shabbos Shabbaton on Yom HaKippurim. And so you have to see, again, from another point of view, that everything is beauty. And those are thorns. You have to turn the thorns into the Shoshana. As a lily amongst thorns. It's not avoiding thorns. We don't pluck it out. You have to find it in it. You got to be in it to win it. Remember that for the lotto or something? So the squaring of the circle, the fifth level, the 2nd level of external soul to the body, external space. And yesterday I was able to read that level. I was able to read the 5th level, the square that squared the circle. And my awareness, my da'as, was in it. And that da'as is external. And in a certain sense, when da'as enters, it's a certain sense higher than the internal keta. And the internal keta is Yehida. But da'as is the external keta. And it's the tree of death. And that's the atzmutz. And so I wasn't going to say, this is again extemporaneous. How da'as, which isn't on the tree of life when you see it. And it's the 11th spice that smells. And Das is awareness. And this awareness in space. And you have to be able to see it, to sensate it, and awareness. The external level of Keter, which 2 days ago I came up through in my studies. Again, all supposed to be. It's supposed to be. And it's for me to recognize it and realize it and manifest. And this level, external level of the fifth level, external, the fifth level contains an external as a sixth level, as Da'as as the Atzmutz level. And as you know, I consider Da'as Va-Da'as. Because there are 6 attributes going down after Bina goes into Das, there's 6 attributes going down. But for me, the Vav, which is the sexual thing, comes up from Keter into Das. And then, so I call it Va-Da'as. So I get to 480 because Da'as is 474. And so Va-Da'as is the Sitra Akra. And this Sitra Akra is that level of thorns which surrounds the Shoshana. And so Da'as as the external level of Keter is higher than Keter itself. It's not on the tree. And what is Keter but 620? And what's Va-Da'as? 480. And so the two of them together, 1100. Wow. Wow. What can I say? Das is awareness that you are in the squared circle, in the mem, in the final mem, 600.